What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, so we're gonna be here with 3 videos today. So buckle down, you guys, get some snacks, because we gonna be here for 3 videos. Now, how long each video is gonna be, I do not know. But before we go ahead and get into the videos, this video right here is going to be about the Netflix documentary Unknown Number. The Unknown Number documentary. Let's see, what was the name of it? What was I'm trying to remember what the exact name of it was. But if you guys watched it, please hop down in the comments section or in the premiere and tell me what you think. It's called Unknown Number, the high school catfish. Now, before I go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us talk about Unknown Number, the high school catfish. What a tale. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, you guys, so be honest with you guys, I knew nothing about this documentary. Now, I did see like last week when Ashley posted her review for it, and I was like, what is this? Y'all, because y'all know I support everything that Ashley does, but I was like, I don't know what it is. So I just clicked on it, and I think I liked the video, and I just kind of moved on because I was like, I don't know what this is, so I can't really give any, I can't even leave no comments about it. So this past weekend, I went home to my hometown and I stayed with my cousin, right? So while I was there, I ended up leaving my pants on Saturday and I was already back in Dallas by the time I realized I left my pants with my wallet in it. And I was like, oh crap. So me and my cousin had talked about it the night before. She was gonna come back up here and go hang out with one of my other cousins. So I was like, okay. So I text her. And I was like, she texted me, asked me, was I at home? I said, yeah. Then I was going to Target because I had some stuff to return to Target. And I started feeling, because I like 9 times out of 10, these people gonna ask me for my debit card. So I started feeling for it. I was like, wait a minute, where's my debit card? Then I reminded myself, you left it in your hometown at your cousin's apartment. So when she texted me telling me she was on her way up here, I caught her just in the nick of time because she had just left home. So she wasn't that far. So she said she's going to turn around, go back and get it. And then she would let me know when she made it back up here. So she did that. So we went over to my cousin's house, and my little cousin, well, actually both of these two are younger than me. The one cousin, she's a year younger than me. And the other one, he's only a week younger than me. But neither here nor there. So we were talking, and she mentioned this documentary. And, I hadn't heard of it, and my other cousin, he hadn't heard of it. So they put it on Netflix and we watched it. So the documentary is about an hour and 24 minutes, I believe is what it is, with the runtime. So the documentary takes place in a small town in Michigan. I can't remember what the name of the town is, but it's a very small town in Michigan. It seemed like it's one stoplight, one school, one everything. And I'm kind of familiar with that, because my hometown, when I was growing up, we had 2 high schools. I think we had 6 middle schools and 6 elementary schools, right? And if you include the private school, then you would say 3 high schools, 7 middle schools, 7 elementary schools, right? Neither here nor there. We only had 1 mall in my hometown. Now it's 2 malls. Now I believe they're adding a strip mall across from the second mall that they built about 10 years ago. So I was like, okay, this sounds like my hometown. So then we get into this damn documentary. I was like, what the hell am I watching? Like, what the hell did I watch? Now, it's about these 2 kids, Owen, and I believe the young girl's name is Lauren. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comment section. But I know his name. I know the young boy's name is Owen, and the girl's name is, I think her name is Lauren. Now, mind you, these are 2, actually they were teenagers, because I think they were both 13 at the time, right? So Owen and Lauren are a couple, and They're kids. Owen's cell phone was his very first cell phone that he ever had, right? So at one point, there was this unknown number that was, now see, here's the thing about me. If there's a number that comes across my phone that I don't know, I don't answer. Like if somebody calls me right now and it's an unknown number, it's a number that I don't know, bitch, I don't answer it, right? And like I remember, if y'all watched it was a Love After Lockup video that I did. And I told you guys about how I get random text messages from people and I don't know who they be. And I don't typically respond to them. Like one of them just texted. It was a number this past weekend. No, not this past weekend, but last weekend, right? It was this random ass number that texted me, and the only reason why I responded to it is because me and another friend was texting, and that friend was like, "I'm gonna give somebody else your, is it cool if I give somebody else your number?" I said, "Sure," right? And so I get this random text message asking when am I available. So I said, "Who is this?" And the person was like, "This isn't Diane." I was like, "Okay, this is a spam." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, when I tell you guys, I get random spam text messages almost every fucking day. And I just ignore them because I don't know them. So with this one, this was somebody, so it sounds like this was somebody that was texting them from a text app where, with the texting, like with text free and all that kind of stuff, you can change your number, like you can change those numbers and it's not going to, it's not the same number every time. And especially like when it comes to those text free apps, if you go inactive with them for a while, because I used to have one back in like 2016, when you go inactive with those, then they just put it back in the queue and somebody else can then get that number, right? And I was like, okay, cool. Didn't know that for a long time until, I was trying to text somebody and it said, yeah, this number is no longer available. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It ain't no big deal to me. So Lauren and both Owen are texting this person. Now, this person is very vulgar, right? This person is trying to break up Owen and Lauren. And I was like, okay. The person is talking about how Lauren is an anorexic, skinny bitch, that nobody likes her, that she should unalive herself. And then at one point, it was talking about, Owen loves blowjobs. His finger was up my pussy. I said, what the fuck? And it was the most disgusting shit you ever want to hear. And I was like, here's the thing. I'm not a prude or nothing, because I've said probably, I never said shit like that. That's dude, in a text message, I don't know if I go that far unless, we got that type of relationship and it's foreplay. But just to text somebody like that, weird, right? So then you kind of sit here and think like, well, who could be texting them? So at one point, the text messages, they ceased for a while, right? But then some months later, it riled back up. And so the parents then got involved, right? And when the parents got involved, that's when the police, the school, everybody got involved. And which I'm still stuck on this part, because they said something and I still don't know. Maybe, okay, because I'm not trying to get into the spoiler part just yet. And if you guys have not watched this will include spoilers, which I hope you guys have watched this, because this thing came out on August 29th. But there were things that were being said amongst the kids, right? So they assumed that they assuming it's got to be a student that's, either eavesdropping on conversations that Lauren is having with people, that Owen is having with people, because then the person texts Lauren, and mind you, this shit is going on while they're in school, and it goes on while they're at home. And the whole time I was sitting there wondering, like, why don't y'all just block this fucking number? But it's a text number, so they can't really block the number. I was like, well, if you can't block the number, why don't you change these kids' number? Now, at one point they did change, I forgot whose number, if it was Lauren's number or if it was Owen's number, but somebody's number got changed at one point. And the text messages still continue. So at that point, they were like, okay, so this has got to be somebody that obviously knows Lauren and Owen. But then you kind of sit here and think to yourself, like, who could it be? Like, is it somebody that's in, is it somebody like a friend? Is it family? Like, who the fuck is it that's bothering these kids? And like I said, the shit is vulgar as hell. The shit is vulgar, but I'm like, vulgar, right? Now, I want to talk about this young girl, this one girl, Chloe. Her mom and her daddy, pieces of shit. Especially once we got to the end, how they had no empathy for Lauren and her father. I was like, Lauren is an innocent victim. Chloe, I don't like talking about kids like that, but Chloe is a little bitch. Chloe is a mean girl. And I feel like she get it from her fucking mama. Like, I feel like she get it from her fucking mama. That's my 2 cents. You guys can tell me what you think and what you feel, right? So at one point, to try to figure out who it is, what the school decided to do was, since Owen's mom and Chloe's mom decided to go to the school and talk to the principal and all those people, what they decided to do was they decided to put a camera in the hallway, right? So what they would do is, when they would look and see like, okay, what time did the text messages come through, and let's see who's on their phone. But the problem with that is you can't really, you can see if a student is on their phone at that particular moment, that Owen and Chloe are getting, not Chloe, but Owen and Lauren are getting text messages, but you can't tell if they're looking at Facebook, Instagram, you can't really tell what they're doing. So that doesn't really narrow it down 100%. So this shit went on for almost 2 years. I was like, fuck. My God. But like I said again, the thing with Lauren is this person is really 100% trying to break her and Owen up. And they eventually succeeded in breaking them up. They eventually succeeded, right? And at one point, Owen went and dated another girl. And when he started dating this other girl, this person is still fucking with Owen and his new girlfriend. I was like, why? It would seem to me like your main goal was to break up Owen and Lauren. You've succeeded in that. So why are you now fucking with the new girl and her family? This person, and my cousin, she was like, it's got to be Lauren. I was like, I hope it's not Lauren, because if it is, that baby girl is a sociopath. Well, first of all, whoever the fuck is doing this has to be a fucking sociopath, because my God, today, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, it just kept getting worse and worse. But it was those text messages, and I really thought it was a child, right? Because if you look at the text messages, those text messages were most of those text messages were run-on sentences. This person didn't believe in a punctuation the first. Like, there was this one long-ass text message that was sent to Lauren. The way that they read it on the screen, they did stop and pause for a period. But the way that the text message read, it was a whole long-ass run-on sentence. And then on top of that, the way that the person was spelling, it's like, okay, you would think that this is a kid. Because I remember back when I was in high school, right? You misspell things. Like back in the day when me and my friends would text, you spell you with the letter U, or you could spell it, or there was another way that me and my friends just spell it, Y-U. Don't ask me why we put Y-U, right? Or, N for and all that kind of stuff. So it would make you think that this is a kid. And so at one point they thought that this was Chloe doing it, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought it was Chloe too, because they all said that Chloe is not that nice. So I said, well, she's a little bitch and she's a mean girl. So don't put too much past her, right? It's like, it's giving Mean Girls. It's giving Mean Girls the movie. If you've never seen it, go watch it. So then it just keeps going on and on and on. And I was like, okay, what the by the 30-minute mark, I was like, girl, this just keeps getting worse and worse. Now, when I tell you guys it got worse, and I was confused because I was like, who is this mystery person? Like, who is behind this? And so you see them interviewing everybody. I was like, okay. I kid you not, like, I wasn't prepared. So at one point the FBI got involved, right? So the FBI got involved and they were able to trace the numbers. Once again, like I said earlier, these numbers are coming from a texting app. So it's not like quote unquote linked to somebody, like how with my cell phone, my bill every month, it has my first name and my last name. It's not like that. This is, and I guess the person who was doing this thought that they were 100% smart by saying, "Oh, I'm gonna use a texting app," and I'm like, "You dumb dunce! You do realize you have an IP? Like, I'm pretty sure you're on somebody's internet and Wi-Fi, so you have an IP address." And they eventually tracked down the IP address. Now, when they traced that fucking IP address, that was where I was like, "What the fuck?" So they reached out to Owen's mama, right? And they talked to Owen's mom about who it was. Turns out it was Kendra. So Kendra is Lauren's mother. I was like, whoa, what? Lauren's mother? I was like, this bitch is a god. And then when you look, like when you start looking at Kendra, once it's revealed in the look on her face, I was like, oh yeah, there is something seriously wrong with this woman. It's like, and you looking at Kendra, it's like she don't have any remorse. Cause, oh God, cause once she was laughing. I was like, Kendra. Then on top of her doing this, so you may be asking yourself, cause let Kendra tell her husband she was working. But Kendra got fired from her fucking job. She lied to her husband saying that she had a job here in Texas, but she said, yeah, none of that shit was true. Then on top of that, they lost, like, they had to move out of one house and put some stuff in a storage unit. Let Kendra's raggedy ass tell her she was paying the storage, but she wasn't, because they ended up losing everything that was in that storage. And so I really do feel bad for little Lauren, because this feels like Stockholm syndrome, because so Kendra went to trial. Kendra was in jail for over a year, and so she's out of prison, and she, again, the fact that you talked about your daughter's weight, you called her anorexic, you told her to unalive herself, you called her a bitch, like you said some of the most despicable shit to your fucking child, ma'am. Your child that you gave birth to. Like, I don't understand that. So Kendra's a fucking sociopath, right? So part of the terms of her conditions of her parole is she can't have any contact with Lauren. The problem is, and I get that this is Lauren's mom and she wants to be around her mama. I wouldn't. The things that you said to your child, you can't take that back. Like, you cannot take that back. And I mean, my God, really, Kendra? And part of me feels like Kendra had a little bit of an obsession with Owen, because at one point, I forget what Owen's mama's name is, but she was talking about how Kendra, when she was the coach, and she would do special things. She would try to go do special things for Owen. I was like, maybe that's part of the reason why she was trying to break them up. She had a little crush on Owen, but then, Kendra's also talking about the fact that she was, R-worded when she was a young girl, and she was basically trying to keep Lauren from having to go through the things that she went through. And I was like, that's understandable that you want to keep her from going through the things that you went through, but the way that you went about things, it's despicable. Like, you can sit down and have a conversation with your daughter and tell her, especially when she gets to an age of understanding and knowledge. But at 13, granted, at 13 I knew about sex. Was I having sex? No. Was I having sex at 13? Was I? I don't remember. Was I? I don't know. But at 13, I knew about sex. I had saw the P word stuff. I had saw that stuff, right? But you can have a conversation with your child. You can sit down and have a conversation with your kid instead of having to go to this extreme of what you did, Kendra, because something is seriously wrong with you. And then, she's talking about, I think, like the whole anorexia thing, that was projection. Because Kendra is a skinny person. Lauren is not. Like, when I say Lauren's not skinny, Lauren is not like pencil thin, right? Neither is Kendra, but Kendra is smaller than Lauren. But I just don't understand how you could go through with doing it to your child. When Lauren's dad found out, he was pissed. He said, "You got to call your mom and dad and tell them, like, you ain't staying here." And I was like, I 100% agree with you. But then let me get back over to Chloe's motherfucking mama and daddy with they trifling, dusty, raggedy asses. Because they felt no remorse for Lauren and her father. Because I guess in they warped, twisted ass fucking minds, they knew about it. You think that little girl knew that her mama, and people have said it's like Munchausen syndrome, and I can see it where Kendra was doing all these disgusting, deplorable, despicable things to her child so that her daughter would come to her. Kendra needs a mental evaluation. That's what needs to happen with Kendra. That bitch needs a mental evaluation. So when when she got out of prison, y'all should have sent her to a psychiatric hospital because there is something clearly wrong with fucking Kendra. I mean, my God, today that woman is a nutcase. A nutcase. She's a sociopath. But like I said earlier, she's a sociopath. Because I just don't think she feels anything. Because what could, again, I get that you want to protect your child from being hurt and harmed. And I think that's what any parent wants to do. But you cannot be with your child 24 hours out of the day. They go to school. If they want to do extracurricular activities, they're going to do it. But the thing that you can do as a parent is make sure that they feel comfortable and safe talking to you about anything. Tell them nothing is off limits. But with Kendra, girl, that wasn't the case. I guess the bitch should let me scare the little girl into, my God, what a Looney Tune. But that is it. If I left anything out that you guys want to discuss, please leave it in the comment section. But that's it, you guys. If you have not watched it, go watch it. You might find it a little, I mean, I already spoiled it, but what a time. But yeah, you guys, that's it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.